Never in a million years would I thought I will be saying these words, let alone be making this video, but here we are. Your girl, Jeanetta, Cash and Curls, is back in debt. These are my confessions. What's up, guys? It's Jeanetta from Cash and Curls, and if you're new here, I teach millennials how to save, budget, and eliminate debt. And today, guys, I'm here with a confession video. We're talking about my third pillar, which is debt. That's right. If you looked at the thumbnail, you looked at the title, you read it correctly. Today, guys, I'm just gonna have a little confession session. Like, it's a little bit more low-key, relaxed, got my green smoothie here, and we're just gonna have a conversation. Today's video is actually a very hard video for me to record. I have kept this confession to myself. I've shared it with a couple of family members and friends, but I haven't publicly shared it with my community. But today, guys, I'm opening up. I'm going to be an open book with you guys, ready to share with my community, the Cash and Curls community, my debt confessions, okay? When I get the tea, be sure to stick around. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. So let's just go ahead and get straight into it. This video may be a little bit lengthy, but I want to give you guys some backstory and some context on how I got to this point of being back in debt. So let's go ahead and jump into the video agenda. First and foremost, I'm going to just start off with a backstory. I'm going to give you guys a backstory of who I am and where I came from financially. Then I'm going to talk to you guys about 2025, because honestly, guys, 2025 has been lifing for me, and this is why I ended up being back in debt. Thirdly, I'm going to reveal my numbers to you guys. I'm going to do the calculations here on camera so you guys can see how much money I have currently in debt. And then I'm going to share with you guys what's next for me and what is my plan to tackle this debt. So let's go ahead and jump into the backstory. 2017, that's when I decided to start my first debt-free journey. I have a whole video here on my channel which goes into a lot of detail about what the journey was like. And honestly, I was on that journey for 31 months. I had $57,747 worth of debt to my name back in 2017. And I just got aggressive with paying off my debt until I eventually became debt free. So back at that moment, I think I was like in my second or third year of teaching, and I just wanted to get aggressive with paying off my debts. I followed the debt snowball. I cleaned up the 2 credit cards that I had, the car loan that I had, and the big student loan for $50,000, okay? After being on that journey for 31 months, on May 20th, 2020, I officially screamed that I was debt free. So I'm making this video for memories, but today is 5/20/2020, and I just made my last student loan payment. So do you know what that means? That means Jeanetta is debt free. And like I said, I have a full video, a couple of videos here on my channel with real life footage of what the journey was like that you can check out by clicking the link up in the cards or down below in my description box. But yeah, so on May 20th, 2020, I officially screamed that I was debt free and I had paid off all of my debt. Like, I was super excited. I was very stoked to be able to reach such a big financial goal at a young age. Fast forward to 2020, this was around like June 2020. This was like fresh life after debt. I began to aggressively save. I saved $10,000 for my fully funded emergency fund, and life was good. Like, you know, I was still sticking with a budget. I was using cash envelopes, cash stuffing every single month to help me stay in my budget. I began to enjoy my life a little bit more. I went out on vacations. I started to treat myself to other little things because I had done so well, okay? So that was 2020, 2021. And then around 2022, I went back to school and I graduated in December of 2022 with my master's degree. Like I said earlier, I'm a teacher, an intervention specialist, and I work with students who have disabilities. So I cash flowed my way through grad school, got my master's degree in December, and then kept on living life. You know, I was budgeting consistently, enjoying my paid for car. I had no credit cards. I didn't take out a student loan to go to grad school. I was sticking to my plan. So 2023 came around, 2024, things is going pretty well. Things are pretty stable for me financially. It wasn't until around like 2024, I want to say like February-ish, things started to happen with my car. So like I told you guys, I did have a car note, and I paid that car off. And at that point, it's been about 7 years. Like if we're doing the math right now, it's been about 7 years since I've had a car note. And, you know, I started to have like some car troubles. Like I noticed every single quarter I was going to the mechanic to get my car fixed. Okay. So 2024, you know, things are still going well financially. I'm cash flowing these car expenses, these car repairs, and 2025 happened. Before I get into 2025, I did take a moment to step back and just kind of analyze the situation. And at the top of this year, God kind of laid it on my heart that I have been very prideful with certain titles. Like I really put my whole identity into the title of being debt free. Like anytime I would introduce myself, when I would go to these financial events or have like a podcast, you know, I would say, I'm Jeanetta. I'm a millennial who, you know, doesn't believe in having debts. Like I just really held on to that title of being debt free a little too tightly. And God just kind of laid it on my heart that I'm being extremely prideful with this title, and that, you know, I gotta kind of tone it down a little bit because there's nothing wrong with being in debt. Honestly, at that moment, you know, January of 2025, things were just becoming a little bit too predictable in my financial life. Guys, I could do my budget like clockwork. Like it took me 5 minutes to get my budget done because everything was just so predictable, and it has been so consistent for about 5 years at that point. Okay, so I'm talking January 2025. Like, you know, I was doing my budget every single month. I was paying my bills on time. I was saving. I had a few sinking funds set aside. I was aggressively saving for a house down payment. I was enjoying my life, and, you know, there wasn't much restriction in my budget. 2025 came. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about 2025, because 2025 is the year that life began to life for me. How did we get here? So like I tell you guys all the time, I am Jeanetta, and I promote living a debt-free lifestyle. Like I want to see people live a debt-free life. And I had no intention on getting back into debt. Like if you guys know me, like people that know me in real life know that I hate debt. Like if you guys can't sense that on camera, the people in my actual real life know that I absolutely hate debt. So I had no intention on getting back into debt, but life just began to life for me in 2025, and some things were just a little bit out of my control. Unexpected things just started happening to me starting in January of 2025. So I'm just going to take you guys down the journey of how life has been lifing for me. Okay, so January 2025 hits, and prior to that, back in November, all these lights started flickering on my car. Like I told you guys, I was driving a paid for Kia, haven't had a car note in over 7 years, and bam, all of these lights just randomly pop up on my car dashboard. Okay, and at the time, the lights that were on, it was the TPMS light, which is the tire pressure monitoring system light. ABS light was on, and my brake light was on. So all of these lights was flickering on my car. And, you know, I was driving my car all of November, driving it in December. I had 2 weeks off for Christmas break. And during that time, I was like in contact with a local mechanic that has been handling my car since it's been paid off, and they pretty much fixed anything that was happening. So calling these people, long story short, I'm not going to get into too much detail because I do have a few videos about my whole car experience that I'm going to release to you guys very soon. Long story short, these lights were on from November all the way to January, and it took me taking my car to another mechanic, the actual Kia dealership, for them to deem that the car was unsafe for me to drive. My heart literally sank to the bottom of my chest. I'm like, what do you mean the car is considered as unsafe to drive? Like, in my mind, all I was doing was preparing to just pay the bill for them to repair the car and just move on with my life. And the lady on the other end of the line is just like, yeah, this car is just unsafe. Let's talk about getting you into a new car. And I had to pump the brakes really quick because I was just like, I'm not ready to purchase a car. Like, I told her, I cannot afford to purchase a car. In my mind, I had about a good year before it was time for me to purchase a new car. Got this news January 14th of 2025, and literally everything just changed. And prior to that, I actually had got sick at the top of the month with the flu. And guys, this was an unexpected expense that I did not prepare for. To back up a little bit, I had got sick with the flu and I went to urgent care. I have had the flu one other time and I did the same steps that I did the last time. Went to urgent care, got checked out, got diagnosed with the flu. They gave me some antibiotics. You know, I rested, stayed home, and then I was well. This time around, went to urgent care, did the same routine, talked to the doctor, got diagnosed with the flu, but then this time she wanted to check to see if I had pneumonia. Do not dishonor doctors. Like, I respect their expertise and their knowledge, and this is no shame against that doctor, but I just felt like this doctor just wanted me to get an x-ray so that they can get some extra money. Okay, I honestly wasn't that bad. I truly do thank her for like looking out for me, but I don't think I needed an x-ray. So I persuaded her to take me to another part of the building to get an x-ray done. And then a couple months later, I ended up with a bill of $376. So that is my first debt that I have. I've been in contact with my insurance and the billing department, and they will just not bend on paying this $376. Like, I've called 3 times, and honestly, at this point, this is just a debt that I have to pay back. So that is my first debt. Okay. Then back to mid-January, I get news that my car is deemed as unsafe. Thirdly, this is just recently, God laid it on my heart. I was actually working with my mom to help her get her student loan situated. So back up just a little bit. When I went to college, my mom did take out a Parent Plus loan for me. Okay, she took that loan out so that I could go to school and so that I could afford to finish out my degree. It's been on my heart since 2019. Like, I have a journal entry that I wrote down saying that one day I would like to pay off the student loans my mom took out for me to go to school. And it's been on my heart in 2019. It resurfaced again last year, and then this month, like a couple of days ago, it just hit me even harder that this is something that I have to do. This loan was taken out over 10 years ago. We had no agreement that I will be paying this loan back, but I just feel led to pay it back. So this is how life has just been lifing. The medical expense in January of 2025, my car being deemed as unsafe, mid-January 2025, having to get a car loan February 2025, and then now this student loan in July of 2025. Life has just been lifing. Let's go ahead and jump into my numbers. I'm gonna go ahead and reveal to you guys the actual number that I have currently in debt. So, and I just went under my account. And this medical bill is $376. For me to get an x-ray to deem that I had no pneumonia was $376. Once again, I respect everyone in the medical profession. I trust your judgment, but I think I just let that doctor kind of persuade me into into convincing me that I may have had shortness of breath, that there could have possibly been fluid on my lungs. So that medical bill is $376. Next, that student loan balance is now $9,517.79. That is a Parent Plus loan that my mother took out for me to finish my undergraduate degree. So this debt is technically not in my name, but I am going to take it on and be the person that's going to pay it off in full. By the way, she doesn't know this, okay? This is something that I'm going to surprise her with. So if you know me in real life, if you're a family member, a friend of the family, and you're watching this video, don't say a word, okay? I want to kind of alleviate all of this stress off of her so that she can focus on the other areas of her life and cleaning up the debt that she currently has, okay? And just to give you guys a little backstory, my mom currently is just living off of Social Security right now. A few years ago, my great uncle and my aunt had got sick, and she had to take a step back and leave her job, her current 9-to-5, and retire early in order to care for them. So she has been in retirement for a little over 4 to 5 years now, and right now all she's living on is her Social Security. And if you know anything about Social Security is not a livable wage, and what they're expecting her to pay for this student loan is just outrageous. She was currently on a standard repayment plan of 10 years. We're actually in the process now of getting her on a income-driven repayment plan so that the bill can be a little bit more manageable for her to pay. But little does she know, her daughter something cooking up, and I'm going to actually surprise her and pay this off in full by Christmas. And then lastly, guys, I told you my car was deemed unsafe in January of 2025, and in February of 2025 I actually got a new car. Okay, so it's not a brand new car, it's a new car to me. It is a used car, and I'm gonna have a whole series on this experience, that journey, so stay tuned for that. I have a real life vlog experience, and I have a teachable video where I'm going to show you guys how to pay for a car on your own, which I'm super excited to release to you guys. But yes, the auto loan that I took out was $22,874.88. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and add these numbers up on camera together to see what my total debt is. The medical bill is $376. The student loan is $9,517.79. And then the auto loan is $22,874.88. Okay, so the amount of money that I have in debt right now is currently $32,768.67. Guys, $32,000 in debt? Like, this is crazy. So those are my numbers. Those are my numbers. And as I just take a moment to just sit back during my quiet time today, God laid it on my heart that all change isn't bad. Sometimes it's for your good. So like I told you guys at the top of this video, I have never had the intention of going back into debt unless it was for a mortgage. Like, I don't plan to get back into credit card debt. Thank God I didn't plan to have a car loan. I wanted to pay this car outright in full, and I didn't expect to have a medical bill, let alone take on a student loan bill. Okay, so all of this was not in the cards for me. Like, I didn't set out to be back into debt. But I realized that all change is not bad. Sometimes it's for your good. So I'm thankful that that doctor was concerned enough to see if I had pneumonia, because that could have been a whole nother story if I would have not gotten the x-ray and I was laid up in the hospital with pneumonia. So I am thankful that the doctor was cautious enough to request an x-ray to see if I had fluid on my lungs, and thank God. And I thank God today that I didn't have pneumonia. Even though it came at a price, I'm just thankful that I am healthy today, okay? So that's that $376 medical bill. Secondly, all change isn't bad. Sometimes it's for your good, okay? That car that I was driving was unsafe. And I was doing everything in my power to make it safe and to make it work and to make it function for me, because I did not have a car payment and I was afraid to go back into debt. And as I look back, and as you're going to find out in those car vlog videos, that was one of the best decisions I've ever made. The car that I got was not paid for in cash completely. It came with a price. But I absolutely love that car, and that car is a major upgrade from what I was driving, and I'm grateful to have that car. All change isn't bad. Sometimes it's for your good. Like, I was well overdue for an upgrade for my car. I've been teaching consistently now for 10 years. I've saved a lot of money. I'm very frugal in my everyday life. I deserve to have a nicer car to drive. All change isn't bad. Sometimes it's for your good. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I would have never made that car purchase if my previous car wasn't deemed as unsafe. Okay, you see where I'm getting? All change isn't bad. Sometimes it's for your good. This student loan situation, that was something that I've been thinking about since 2019, okay? And I've just been putting it off. Like, of course, you know, I didn't become debt-free till 2020 the first time. But then I started living my life, kind of forgetting about it. My mom had the loan deferred with the pandemic, and time to pay again. She deferred it again. It was in forbearance. Like, didn't think anything about it. But now that it was time to get serious and actually start repaying it, and I saw the look on her face on how she was going to pay the bill, I knew that now this was the time for me to step in and go ahead and take control and pay this student loan off. And I'm not here to say that that's the case for everybody's situation, but for me and my situation and where my mom is currently financially, I believe it's my responsibility to pay that student loan off. She took it out for me to go to school back in 10 years ago. You see what I'm saying? All change is not bad. Sometimes it's for your good, okay? So what is my game plan going forward? Honestly, guys, I'm just happy that I have come to terms and have accepted the fact that I am in debt, and that it's okay to be in debt, okay? I have been struggling with this for 6 months now. When I got that car loan in February 2025, I just could not swallow the pill that I am currently now back into debt. Okay, so I've been back into debt since February of 2025, and it's been hard. It's been hard because this year would have been my 5th year of being completely debt free. I had plans to celebrate my 5th year of being completely debt free on May 20th, and things kind of just it didn't happen. I didn't celebrate myself because I was back in debt. What is the game plan? So if I'm being honest with you guys, I'm literally about to practice what I preach, okay? So if you've ever watched one Budget With Me video where I give out these recommendations, I'm literally about to practice everything that I preach and teach to you guys. I am about to be in the trenches. You hear me? Your girl is cutting back, scaling back in so many ways to get clear of this debt. And now that I see that it's that high, your girl is about to go extreme. Like, I'm not gonna do what I did the first time and like cut out all fun and just be so strict on paying off the debts, but I am reeling back in certain areas of my life. Next month I'll actually be turning 30 years old, and I had this whole plan to go to Cabo to celebrate my 30th birthday, and I made the decision not to go this year because of my current financial situation. This was a big sacrifice that I made, and a lot of my close family and friends did not understand, but I know that I'm on a mission, and that if I'm going to complete this journey of being debt-free again, I'm going to have to make some sacrifices, and that these sacrifices are only temporarily. Honestly, guys, I'm just keeping my head down, living below my means. I'm going to follow the debt snowball. I'm going to send any extra additional income that I make straight to my debt. I'm going to have to make some hard decisions, which I'll probably talk about a little bit later in another video. My goal is to honestly be debt free by August of 2026. So almost a year from now, I want to be able to scream that I'm completely debt free. Pay that medical bill off, pay that student loan bill off, pay that car loan off, okay? So that is the goal. Everything paid off by August of 2026. And I'm not gonna hold myself to that tight, restrictive date, because if things happen, things happen. If it has to be longer than August 2026, I'm okay with that. My whole goal is just to make progress every single month, to see that number get smaller and smaller every single month. One last thing that I do want to say before I wrap up this video is that I am still anti-debt, okay? Your girl is never going to preach getting into debt. I still promote living a debt-free lifestyle, paying off your debt, living below your means, and cash flowing things, okay? That part of me will never change. If I'm being real with you guys and being hot, humble, open, and transparent, I made this video and I decided to share this news with you guys because, one, I'm trying to be obedient to God, okay? God laid it on my heart to go ahead and share this part of my life with you guys online. Being debt-free and remaining debt-free is not a destination, it's actually a journey, okay? So many times we think that once you did your debt-free journey, that's the end. It's the end all be all. And for some people, that's their story. And I thought that was going to be my story. But life started to life and change started to happen, and at that moment I thought all this change was bad, but now that I look back, it's all working out for my good. I'm learning that being debt-free and remaining debt-free is not just a destination, it's going to be a journey. For some of us, you may have to go back into debt because your car broke down and you had no idea that it was going to be broke down and deemed as unsafe to drive at the top of the year when you had intentions on paying for that car in cash by the end of the year. All change is not bad. Some changes for your good. I'm just here to let you guys in on the journey. The very first time that I did my debt-free journey, I was not actively on YouTube. I was sharing photos and small Instagram stories here and there. But now I'm letting you guys all in the journey, and I just want to let you guys know that we're in this together. Like, you are not alone. I am not alone. We are going to tackle our debt together in 2025 and hold each other accountable. And I feel like I'm getting a little bit emotional now. I just want to let you guys know that life can happen to all of us, okay? We are not untouchable. And sometimes when we think that life is life and everything is bad, it can ultimately be for our good. Okay, I'm seeing so much out of this journey of being into debt. Like, I feel like God is setting me up for something great. Just because I had to take a step back, get into debt, clean up this debt, I feel like it's going to set me up for something greater later on down the line. Yes, life can happen to us all, and I just never want you guys to think that just because I come on here and I turn on these lights and I have my computer, my notes, and I'm showing you guys all of these different things, that my life and my finances are spotless. Like, there's things that I struggle with. Life decided to happen to me in 2025, and I just want to let you guys know that I will never be too proud to tell you guys that, you know, life had happened and I had to start back over and get back into debt. Last thing I want to share before I close is that a few weeks ago, I actually heard Dr. Jamal say this, and this thing like literally hit me like a ton of bricks, and it made me hurry up and get on this camera and share with you guys. And what he said was that many of us are holding people up from being freed and delivered because we are in witness protection. When Dr. Jamal said this, I was just like, OMG, I need to get on camera and tell my people that I'm back in debt. Like, me staying in witness protection is keeping y'all from being freed and delivered from the bondage of debt. And I was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. If people are going to think something of me, let them think something of me. But I'm going to go ahead and be real and honest with my community. Let them know what's going on. Let them know that life has been lifing, that life is not perfect. My finances is not perfect. And I ended up back into debt. But I do believe that this journey is going to show you guys that it is possible. Your girl was in debt in 2017, became debt free in 2020. She lived debt free for about 5 years. And then 5 years later, she ended up back in debt. But guess what? She's going to be debt free again. Okay. And I'm going to just take you guys on the journey with me. So if you made it this far, just know that I love you guys and I appreciate you guys for rocking with me and supporting me, because this video honestly was just not easy to make. I had to put my comfort aside and just think about all of the people I'm going to be helping with this new journey of starting my second debt-free journey. Like I said, I'm currently in the trenches with you guys. So if you have debt, know that you're not alone. If you're listening to me, know that it is possible that you can get out of debt. And once again, I am Jeanetta. I am the creator of Cash and Curls. And here at Cash and Curls, I teach millennials how to save, budget, and eliminate debt. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. If you're drowning in debt, starting your debt-free journey, let me know down below so I know that we're not alone. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm excited to bring you guys on this new journey of my life in 2025. And yeah, never forget that you can win with money, and I am rooting for you. And until next time, friends, bye.